Utah State, impressive game today against Hawaii. Heading to the fourth quarter. Harding receiving that punt and into the end zone for a touchback. Aggies, 10+ points in all three quarters today. 3 times this year they've done that. 17 of 35 quarters this year, more than 10 points in a period, Arch. These guys are pretty dangerous.
Yeah, they've got a good thing going here. And here's the question, they still have a lot to play for. And even with all the adversity, this is a great test for not only the coaching staff, but the players. And I think that their goal here is to try and lean on the offensive line on that side of the ball and still continue to play that smothering defense led by a great front seven.
First ever Mountain West Championship game, CBS Sports, December 7th at 10 Eastern. They got a shot to play in it. Graham stays in the game. The righty throwing at Clark Evans, incomplete. Zach Vigil close to him on coverage. Remaining for Utah State partner. They've got UNLV on the road, a bye week, Colorado State and Wyoming to finish out the year. Those are all winnable games. Boise State could struggle tonight with Colorado State.
And they're all losable game. All those 3 teams. It's a tough year, great competition this year in the Mountain West.
Deep ball, the go-round. Billy Ray Stutzman can't bring it in, incomplete inside the 40 of Utah State.
Yeah, Billy Ray Stutzman, you got to have that ball. That was right there, put perfectly, ran the route, won the route. You had a beautiful pass from your quarterback, Taylor Graham, and that one hits you right there in the hands. That's just one that you got to find a way to bring in there. It looks like maybe there was a hand stuck in there by Quentin Bird, but I really thought that he had a chance to come down with a big play.
Third down. Graham, time, steps into that throw. Catch made at the 34-yard line by King Jr. Gain of 14, first down. Donnie King Jr. A touchdown against UNLV a couple weeks back. Jr. from Oahu. A couple of catches for him today for Hawaii. Chains move. Graham over the middle. Evans' intended receiver there. And Jake Dowdy on coverage. We had a nice chat with Jake yesterday. 8th best in the FBS in total tackles, 3rd in the Mountain West. He said to us, I don't know what my stats are. Did you believe him?
I don't believe him.
Young guy like that?
He's a throwback, though. I like his mentality. He's exactly what you want in a middle linebacker. You know, former walk-on, has a chip on his shoulder, loves to compete. He's a good player out there, so there's a chance he doesn't know what his stats are, but I don't know.
Evan Lawson on coverage. The ball intended for Quamaine Bowens. A true freshman who runs a 4.38 40. Blazing speed for Hawaii. But what a career Dowdy and a Draper, Utah has put together. One of the all-time greats. Third down. Graham sees pressure. Lets that go deep downfield. Incomplete at the 25-yard line, looking for Keith Kirkwood. Coverage by Quentin Bird on the go route, deep ball. Punt time for Hawaii.
Yeah, we used to call this blizzard. Utah State blitzes both linebackers and the free safety up the A-gap. The protection was there, and when you do that, you know you have one-on-one coverage on the outside, but they just weren't able to connect.
All right, Aggies. All right, Aggies. Let's go, U State. Let's go, Aggies.
Timeout. One of the officials slow to get up on the far side of the Utah State bench side. So an official's timeout. Wrap this one up here, Arch. To date, Utah State has been so effective. Daryl Garrettson, to me, has, despite that one pick to Woodard, has been very impressive.
He's done a great job. His decision making, of course, the one bad play on this screen pass, but other than that, he's ran this offense very nicely. He's made some plays down the field. His receivers have been able to win their routes, and of course, you got the freak out there, Kyle Fackrell, making his presence felt for that big 99-yard pick six. But I think it's the Hawaii's offense inability to sustain drives has been the big difference.
Harding uses the right foot. Natson uses both hands on the fair catch. Fackrell, first ever Utah State freshman All-American last year. Had a great sophomore season as well for Matt Wells. Oh, Well, Utah State. First half, pretty exciting moment. Polaris hardest working player of the game. I know you don't like this. You're a defensive player. You'd want someone probably in the defensive backfield. We're going to go with a kicker instead here. Jake Thompson, true freshman. End of the first half, 52-yard field goal made on his first career attempt for Matt Wells, as he told Evan. Hadn't had a chance to try the bomb field goal. Worked out pretty well there.
That's what he's supposed to do. He's not out there working hard. Come on now. One rep in the game.
We did that for you, buddy.
I don't know who's making these choices, but I gotta talk about this with somebody.
First down, Karen.
But it was a great kick. Great job in that spot. I don't want to take anything away from the young man for doing his job.
That's right. Robert Marshall on the carry there. Gain of 2. See a Salmatungi essay involved in the tackle. Senior from Kauai, Hawaii. Didn't play last week against Colorado State at home at Aloha Stadium. And Hawaii's woes will continue. About to lose their 11th straight road game. All 8 games this year.
And out to Robert Marshall.
Marshall again, the ball carrier. Outside the 30, gain of 3. Davida Woodard makes the stop. If you were Norm Chow, Arch, how do you manage the losing? I assume you've never been around a winless team.
No, I have not. But it's a challenging situation. But you know, under that kind of adversity, under that kind of pressure, you know, as a leader of that football program, you just have to start to work on the little things and try and get the small victories.
Third down.
On those fundamentals.
Van Leeuwen on the drag route.
Naquan
Phillips puts him down. The spot is good. It'll be a first down gain of 6. As Norm told us this week, Arch, only his second year as a head coach after all those years and success NFL college level as an assistant. It's not been easy. Managing, be the CEO of a program is not the same as a coordinator.
It's tough, and you can start to get down on yourself. If you're part of a football program or anything where you haven't understood or haven't felt what it's like to taste a win. And sometimes it's hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel, but that's when you got to have some personal pride about yourself and make sure that no matter what happens with your team, you go out there and you give your best effort and you do everything you can in your power to do your job the best of your ability. And sooner or later, if everybody collectively starts playing that way, then you're going to start to see things turn the corner. But there's not a question that this has been a very difficult situation or a very difficult time for this football program.
3-time National Assistant Coach of the Year. 3 national champs at BYU and USC. 3 Heisman winners he coached. Marshall, big pickup, second level, a lot more. First down run, Clay makes the play defensively for Hawaii. 15-yard pickup as Marshall trucks through traffic. First down, Utah State.
And you just see you get great movement by the offensive line, and he's able to get to the edge, and when he starts to see that vertical seam, puts the left foot right there, tries to get a little bit of a shake, and is able to burst upfield.
Marshall again between the tackles. Art Laurel was the first to get to Robert Marshall. The Hawaii trip's so interesting. They're going to stay in the mainland, as we talked about. They'll drive to Salt Lake after the game tonight, stay in Salt Lake City for 4 days. Norm Chow played at Utah. He coached Utes head coach Kyle Whittingham when Kyle played. So Kyle was gracious enough to lend Hawaii some facilities, weight room, practice field for a couple days before they fly out to Annapolis for the Navy game next week.
Yeah, that helps out quite a bit. It's got to be very difficult to be on the road that long and not, you know, have the comfort of your own facilities and try and practice, but it's kind of what you sign up for when you play for this Hawaii football program.
Second down. Johnson, deep ball. Man all alone. Gonna be a touchdown for Wyatt Houston and Utah State. 44 yards. The true freshman has his first career touchdown grab.
Late in the game, things aren't going your way. You know, defensively, you've tried to give it your best, but now here, game's starting to get away from you. They're starting to pound it. And then the play action pass, you start to lose your assignment and your keys, and you let the tight end get behind you for a big play.
Diaz has the PAT. Wyatt Houston, true freshman from Oregon. Matt Wells took the red shirt off from in that game in New Mexico 2 weeks ago. Had his first career catch in Albuquerque. And this is first career touchdown grab from fellow true freshman Daryl Garrettson, who's piled up a huge game. 370 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. Utah State all over Hawaii in Mountain West play. Let's check in with our Dairy Queen fan cam to see the fans' reactions today here at Romney Stadium. There's one Hawaii fan in there. Not many have come from the islands. Little headbutt like that. Aggie mascot. Temperatures in the 60s. We're coming back here at the end of November for the Colorado State game. I'm not sure we'll have the bare-chested fans then. Not sure you will. St. Just's gets outside the 25-yard line for Hawaii. Let's go back down to Evan.
Well, guys, I sort of checked in on our side judge, Anthony Fleming, and unfortunately he's done. Right knee injury. I spoke with him. He's actually had it worked on before and just tweaked it. He was as frustrated as a player is, guys. He wanted to finish this game, so our official will be a man down for the rest of this game.
Evan, thanks. Good luck to Anthony on his recovery. Usually the trainer's table there has a player on it, not an official. Hope he's okay.
It's dangerous out there. I'm surprised there's not more injuries for these officials.
First down. Pass incomplete. Romaine Bowens cannot bring it in for Hawaii from Taylor Graham, the junior from Wheaton, Illinois. Dad Kent, we talked about. He's a great quarterback at Ohio State, had a long NFL career. Giants, Steelers, in his playing days. In the opener against USC was his first football played since 2011. After the transfer from Ohio State, where he only played a couple snaps in his Buckeye career. Timeout called by Hawaii and Norm Chow.
First charge timeout. Hawaii.
10-19 to go in the fourth quarter.
30-second timeout.
Norm Chow did tell us, Arch, pretty interesting this week in our discussion with a longtime veteran coach. Sort of intimating to us, I'm not sure if I'm cut out for this head coaching thing. Now, I'm not saying he's got a long time left in his contract. We're not by any means saying that he's going to leave Hawaii, but it's been sort of a rude awakening. He said the travel was the hardest thing. I mean, it's 6 hours on a plane to get to the mainland from Hawaii.
Well, and a lot of times you talk to coaches who are great coordinators, and they finally get the head job, and they realize that they like to spend their time with the players, and they really enjoy that aspect of it. And so when you're the head of a program, there's so many different things pulling you in different directions. Some guys are just born to coach certain things, and I'm sure he loves having his hands on that daily basis about that offense.
Second down. Kept the intended receiver downfield. Incomplete again for Hawaii. What a run Norm Chow has had as an assistant. 27 years at BYU. Phillip Rivers at NC State. USC, Matt Leinart, Carson Palmer. UCLA for 3 years. Back to Utah. Tennessee Titans offensive coordinator in the NFL. I mean, the accolades never ending with his tremendous resume. But all those as an assistant. Third down, Hawaii has struggled. Harding with a screen catch. Jake Downey makes another play defensively. Gain of 3, not close to the marker for the Rainbow Warriors. And it's punt time again for Hawaii. 12 drive in a row. Sorry about that. Less than 2 minutes of possession time. 12 in a row.
Yeah, and I was just going to make a mention of that. That puts so much pressure on your defense. And again, it's their inability to really have a running game they can lean on. And of course, be able to convert on those third downs and get first downs. And so that's really hard to play efficient offense when you can't extend your drives.
JoJo Natson some trouble with it, but does hop on the loose ball. And Utah State has it. 39-yard punt from Scott Hardy. Aggies back in the field offensively when we return. 13th all-time meeting between these two teams. 6-6. The results so far, and about to be an advantage for Utah State. Craig Harrison will come in to replace Daryl Garrettson, the true freshman. Arch. What a day for him. Garrettson throws for 370 yards, 28 of 41, 3 touchdowns. All of those stats are career highs.
A great way to come out of the bye week, getting some things done. Now look, they haven't gone against the best defense that they're going to see in the Mountain West, but they were crisp. They were able to execute, and he made some really key throws downfield, which is very promising for a guy that has a bright future.
Kennedy Williams, true freshman from Las Vegas, has his first carry of the game. It's his 15th rush of the season. That's a loss of 5.
6 on the play. 2nd and 16.
Daryl Garrettson has been tremendous today. Why? He went to Chandler High School.
But of
Marcelletta's alma mater. He's been something. 3 touchdowns, the first one to JoJo Nansen.
And then you see Travis Van Leeuwen is able to get loose down the sideline. He's able to drop one right there in the basket. Again, throwing another ball downfield here just in their last drive to a wide open tight end. And so look, pretty good day out there for the former Chandler Wolf, the home of champions. Tip of the Chandler Wolf hat out there for Daryl Garrettson.
Here's Kennedy Williams again on 2nd down. Garrettson originally, Arch, interesting, was a commit. As we see his numbers, not bad. Since 85, 300-plus yards. A commit to Mike McIntyre at San Jose State, coming off their great year in the WAC. San Jose State, of course, moved to the Mountain West. McIntyre moved to Colorado, and Daryl changed his mind with a staff moving to the Pac-12, came to Utah State instead. That worked out pretty well here in Logan.
Yeah, and this is a great atmosphere. They've got great offensive coaches here that are going to be able to maximize what he does well. They built a great program here at Utah State. And so I expect really bright things from Garrettson as his career progresses.
Here's Harrison, the junior, throwing and nearly intercepted, incomplete.
College football on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by Bud Light. It's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. By Icy Hot, America's #1 topical pain reliever. And by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Beautiful scenery here in Logan, Utah, shot of Bear River. It's 491 miles long, the largest river in North America that does not reach an ocean, largest tributary of the Great Salt Lake. Gotta love this part of the country. I'm coming back here, and so are you.
Yep, can't wait.
Later in the month for Colorado State, Utah State on CBS Sports Network.
It really is. It's beautiful out here. It's a great football atmosphere.
Venture punting. Harding makes the fair catch at the 41-yard line. Top 10 BCS standings in action today. Let's check out what is happening. You know, Alabama and Oregon are not playing. That huge game tonight in Tallahassee. Who do you like, Miami, Florida State?
I like Florida State all the way. I think it might be more than a 3-touchdown game. They are just a dominant team. Miami really hasn't shown me much, but today it's all about team taking care of business. Ohio State smacked Purdue. Clemson smacked Virginia. It's nice to see them finally wake up and play some offense from the beginning snap. Kind of what you were looking for from teams trying to climb up that ladder.
Diosmy St. Just on the carry. Zach Vigil makes the play defensively. 5 of those top 10 idle, as we saw the top 2 in Bama and the Ducks not playing today. A flip-flop going on with Oregon and Florida State, 2 and 3. Graham bobbles initially and then hits Billy Ray Stutzman on the sideline route outside the 45-yard line for Hawaii. Gain of 5 for Billy Ray, who is fully recovered from a car accident in the preseason that cost him the first few games of the year. Hoping to keep a streak of 4 straight games with a TD catch alive. Catching 28 straight, dating back to his freshman year for Billy Ray Stutzman. 3rd down for Graham. Gets some protection. Clark Evans, the tight end, makes the catch. Factory knocks him out of bounds for Utah State.
Yeah, nice job from Graham identifying that they're running a free safety blitz from the weak side. He sees his hot route, little out route to the flat, and is able to hit him. The passing game has not worked with that kind of timing for most of the game today.
Graham back to Evans, a big tight end. He's stopped by Vigil again. Zach Vigil, 2nd on the team in tackles. Ex-walk-on from Clearfield, Utah. He and Dowdy, we talked about, inside backers, are tremendous strikers for Utah State. Pucala makes a big play. Paul Pucala, the senior from Oakland, is all over Taylor Graham.
Todd Orlando's defense right now. He's dialing up the pressure. That's 3 pressures in a row. Graham was able to beat the first 2, but that was just overwhelming, blitzing all 3 linebackers and making the play in the backfield.
More pressure coming. And Evans on the safety valve is put down by Pucalla. Zach Vigil was all over Taylor Graham there. No gain, but it could have been a lot worse. Coming into the game here today, only Idaho with 38 sacks allowed. UConn 33, Miami, Ohio 30. Worse than Hawaii's 29 allowed. And they've had plenty of Utah State presence in the backfield here today. 3rd down, just like that. A thunderous play for Terrell Thompson. Bone-crunching sack on Graham. Case in point.
Got 5th pressure in the row. You're going to see him come right to the left side of Graham, unblocked. Hits him right square in the middle of the back. And again, Todd Orlando trying to dial up that pressure, forcing Taylor Graham to get the ball out of his hands quickly. They don't want him to sit back there and be able to take shots and throw the ball downfield. But again, you take a look at this Aggie defense. They have built a pretty strong brick wall here. They've done a really nice job both against the run and the pass.
Ikaiko Woolsey is in. They go for him. 4th down. Ball's tipped. And it is caught by Woolsey. He completes the pass to himself. He gets 2 yards. He gets to the 50, but it's well shy of the 1st down. And Utah State takes over on downs with another stop. Ikaiko Woolsey, one of 3 starting quarterbacks this year for Hawaii, a true freshman from Rodeo, California.
Yeah, he's more of the
Bruce, what's on for the post game? How are we looking time-wise?
More of a wildcat quarterback. Of course, he has to come in because Taylor Graham took a shot to the back, but not really the guy you want back there in a drop-back situation trying to drive the ball down the field.
Zach Vigil and company, very impressive. Todd Orlando, there he is on the field, the defensive coordinator for Utah State's got to be pleased. 1st down. Carry goes to Kennedy Williams, breaks and tackles the youngster. Scampers out of bounds.
On the tackle,
A gain of about 4 on that 1st down run for Kennedy, true freshman from Vegas. Younger brother of Kerwin Williams, former great here at Utah State, who's now in the NFL. Had 1,500 rushing yards and 15 touchdowns, 5 receiving touchdowns did Kerwin last year. 7th round pick of the Colts. Was the WAC's all-time leader in kickoff return yards as well. What a career Kerwin Williams had here at Utah State. 2nd down. Carry for Kelvin Lee.
Hand off to number 10, Kelvin Lee.
Gain of 5. Lee is the sophomore from South Daytona, Florida. SEC tonight, presented by Geico's, coming up next on CBS Sports Network. And don't forget, Boise State at Colorado State, 8 Eastern. That's a big game for Matt Wells and staff arts. They'll be watching that one after they finish their post-game obligations, because starting tonight they were tied atop the Mountain Division in the Mountain West Conference. They did lose to the Broncos head-to-head, though.
Yeah, that game is really interesting to me. Of course, the Broncos dealing with their own quarterback injuries on their own, and Colorado State playing some pretty good football right now. They've really got that running game going on, and so be interesting to see how that one plays out.
Kennedy Williams dancing through traffic. A nice pickup. Colorado State, led by Capri Bibbs, tore into Hawaii last week as we checked the standings for 137 yards and 3 touchdowns. So you give Utah State the win here at 4-1 in league play, 5-4 overall. They did lose head-to-head with Boise State, but each a challenging schedule to finish the year. I'm with you. We'll see Colorado State again here in Logan. That's a team that could sneak up and maybe win the division.
It is, and you look at the top there, I mean, even when you take a look at Wyoming and what they're able to do offensively, of course, they just fired their defensive coordinator, but most of those top 4, they have the ability to win every game against each of those teams. So this is going to be a very interesting November here in the Mountain West to see who ends up in that championship game.
Kennedy Williams, the ball carrier again for Utah State. West Division, right now it's Fresno State. 16th in the BCS poll this week. Still undefeated. We'll have them on CBS Sports Network. End of the season. Black Friday against San Jose State. In San Jose, that could be a great matchup between Derek Carr and David Fales, those star quarterbacks. Lee runs left. That's put down on a nice play defensively by Naquan Phillips. Archie, look at the rest of the schedule for Boise State. CSU tonight on our air 8 Eastern. Wyoming, San Diego State, New Mexico. What do you think?
I think those are all tough games right there, except for, maybe New Mexico. But just because they don't have Joe Southwick and Grant Hedrick, the guy who was replacing him, he can play some ball pretty good himself. And so look, it'll be interesting. Every one of those teams playing very good, very capable of winning any game that they play in. It's going to be fun as a fan and as an analyst to see how it ends up shaking up.
Aggies 11 of 18, third downs in the game here so far. Williams trying to add to the list, is ripped backwards. Pretty ferocious tackle there by Gerald Garcia Williams, who switched numbers. He is now number 30. We assume a jersey tear took out his number 40. There you see no name on the back for Gerald Garcia Williams.
He's a blue-collar guy. He doesn't like all the fanfare. Nobody needs to know his
name on your back, that kind of thing. He's one of their top backers. Norm Chow said he's been the MVP of the defense to date, sophomore from Las Vegas. Final moments here from Logan. Aggies coming off their best year in school history, 11-2 last year, won the WAC, won a bowl game. Have now got their 27th win in this senior class. That is tops in Utah State history. As the Aggies enjoy a 47-10 win. True freshman Daryl Garrettson, spectacular today. 370 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, career bests for Matt Wells, the head coach. Watch out, Boise State, Utah State could make a run and win the division. It's gonna be a great finish in the Mountain West.
Yeah, it sure is. You gotta really be pleased if you're Matt Wells on how your football team has responded with all the adversity, all the injuries, the fact that every single week they come out and play and they give it their best.
14 Utah State players from Hawaii, so a lot of camaraderie on the field. Post-game, an Aggie victory. Today's Napa play of the game on the Utah State Radio Network. Here's Al Lewis with a pick 6 from Kyler Fackrell.
Looking right the whole way. Throws to the right, and it's picked off by the Aggies. And down the sideline is Kyler Fackrell. And Fackrell still running, and now he breaks free. He will score. It'll be 100 yards or close to it. Kyler Fackrell.
They call Al officially 99 yards. First pick 6 of Fackrell's career. They call him the freak here in Logan because he's such a tremendous athlete with NFL potential. Matt Wells got to be pleased. We'll find out. He's joined now by Evan.
Coach, where do you keep finding these quarterbacks? Garrettson steps in, a freshman record in passing yards. His effort, his play today, what would you say?
Well, I thought he was very consistent. He was dialed in. Again, he had a good week of practice. And he's a kid that he's got a lot of moxie about him. He's got a lot of confidence, and we played well around him.
You were pretty clear with us. Your message this week to your team: 4 regular season games left. Eye on the prize in that potential Mountain West Championship game, but 1-0. What's the message now?
It's going to be 1-0 against UNLV. You got to go one game at a time. And so big picture is we had 4 left, 3 at home. Now we got 1, we got a bye, and then 2 more at home. And so you got to find a way to go 1-0 against UNLV.
You're going to watch that game tonight, Boise playing Colorado State?
Well, I'll be celebrating.
Thanks for the time. Congrats on the win.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Evan, Coach Wells, thank you. Garrettson, career best, 370 and 3 touchdowns. Travis Reynolds, a career high as well. 8 catches, 152. For Adam Archuleta and Evan Washburn, the entire crew, I'm Dave Ryan saying so long. For scores, highlights, features, and more, go to CBSSports.com. It's been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Now to Brent Stover in the SEC tonight.
Hey.